in frame.
I was trying to close the door, bro.
Okay. So, this recap is late, but let's get into it. Ended up taking two losses yesterday. Got wicked out looking for shorts, and then was looking for longs back to the upside. Took an early entry and got stopped out on that one. So let's recap what happened on the trading day. Sorry for the late video, but here it is regardless.
You want muffins?
I'll have one after. So starting off on the daily time frame, we ended up having a higher time frame, bro. If I could get to it, okay, there it is. If you check daily time frame, we ended up having a higher time frame, daily SMT. Now, this daily SMT wasn't enough for me to be fully bullish on the trading day, but it was good confluence when we scaled down to the 4 hour. You can see those lows down here. We also had a huge liquidation from yesterday. I guess news in Iran caused boom, a 200 point drop, probably more than 200 points. No, actually 200 points exactly. And usually we know when moves like that are made overnight in Asia, it's typically the move for the day. But still, was looking to see internal highs get hit, at least something. We'll get into that in just 1 second. When we go into New York Open, where's New York Open? Or sorry, that wasn't. Where was it? It was right here. It was 500 points. Sorry, 2%, 500 points. And then going into New York Open, we ended up making, retracing just into this huge 4 hour sell side imbalance. I mean, that really didn't mean anything, but the main thing that stuck out to me was the fact that we didn't really have any higher time frame, significant enough swing highs or swing lows in order to target, well, swing highs really. So I ended up being bearish market open, looking to target these internal hourly lows. Price action continued to the upside, ended up forming a SMT with ES on the lower time frames. Let me go to it right here. You guys can see that SMT right here. Bam and bam. That's when we look to execute. Microtrade stay delivery to the downside. Executed. That's when price action came back up. Wicked this out. Ended up having another SMT with ES right here. That was where we got wicked out. Before price action continued to the downside, we also had news data release. I forgot what we had. Let's check yesterday. We had consumer sentiment. So that was at 10 a.m., right around here. But still, price action worked this out, continued to the downside. I mean, once we took out internal, I wanted to see price action reverse back to the upside. Where was it? I was looking for longs. If I open Discord, let's see. Hopefully, there's no messages about femboys, even though there probably will be. It was right here. I wanted to see a reversal back to the upside once we took out internal. And for anybody curious, this is how the trade looked. The executions aren't there because I guess next day, but this is how the trade idea looked, or exactly like that. Once we took out internal, like I said, wanted to see reversal back to upside for the millionth time. But instead of looking at NQ, I was looking at ES. Why, you may ask? Because ES took out internal first, and I assumed that was SMT back to the upside, so I executed. Once I executed, looked to target high of day, or sorry, not high of day, session high of New York. Looks something like this. Solid RR, like 1 to 3.5 R. Got stopped out on that right before the reversal. Looks like we ended up SMTing with some other lows down here on NQ. One of these lows down here, I'm not going to take the time to find the SMT, but we ended up SMTing with one of these lower internal lows right here before continuing higher. The trade on ES I knew was slightly lower probability due to at that time we were trading against trend. NQ still hadn't taken out those lows. So I did acknowledge that going into the trade. However, I continue to risk normal. This was a regular risk day, so 200 on the first one, 100 on the second one, so around $300 loss on the entire trading day. But the one thing I want to emphasize, I recorded and said this yesterday, but you guys see whenever I talk about my trades, I always make sure I'm executing upon the same model. A lot of people make the mistake and they start to execute upon, messy entries. They have 50% of their entries that are clean, noticeable entries, and then the other 50% is just messy all over the place. And so when they go in and they look back at their journal, they do have a consistent entry model. However, the clarity of it is all over the place. The one thing I want to emphasize is, yes, sure, okay, yeah, I was losing that, anybody, that's fine. But if we look at all of my executions throughout the week, I open Trezella or even the past month or whatever the case is, every execution is the exact same. There's no significant noticeable difference between my executions, and that's the point I'm really trying to emphasize while making these videos, so you guys can begin to see, hey, it's not about, whether I win or lose or P&L at the end of the month, whatever the case is. How is my trading performance as a whole? How's the quality of my trading? Do I have clarity and understanding within my trading model, or am I just, do I just think I do just because of a couple of wins? So that's the one thing I really want to emphasize right here. Yes, I did have, losing day today. That's fine. But when looking at my trades, that's where I want to have the emphasis on, hey, am I still executing upon my model, even though, sure, there were outside confluences that could have allowed us, wait and whatnot, but am I executing upon my model? That's the main thing with clarity. So apart from that, I mean, I can make a whole video maybe today. I'm not sure. I may be busy today, but yeah. But apart from that, that was yesterday's recap. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I am going to go. I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna go do, but I'm gonna go do something. I'll probably stare at the wall for a couple of hours. But apart from that, love you guys and peace.